Welcome back to the official Thompson Resume Writing Company YouTube channel. I am Tamika Thompson. I'm the owner and resume writer at Thompson Resume Writing Company. And for this video, I'm going to be giving you some ideas about what you can quantify on your resume. Now, I've preached the importance of this on my channel before about adding numbers to your resume. They play a really big part in painting a picture of your value, your success, and your impact in a role and in your previous roles. But many people don't know or they don't understand what numbers they can include or what they can actually quantify. It's almost like they draw a blank. So I've created this video to help you if this is something that you are struggling with. So let's get right into it. Number one on this list is the number of people that you manage or that you oversee. This is an excellent tip for my team leaders, my team managers, directors, etc. So if you are someone who oversees a team, their performance, their day-to-day tasks, if you are delegating tasks, all of that good stuff, please include the exact number of team members that you manage. So instead of just saying manage a team of people, include the number, manage a team of 50 employees. Also, for added specificity, you can include the titles or an overview of the roles of the people that you manage. So for example, if you are an operations manager, you can say that you oversee a team of 6 operations support specialists or operations coordinators. If you are applying for management jobs that will require you to oversee a team, it's really important for you to demonstrate or show on your resume that you have experience leading a team already and that you have that type of experience under your belt. Something else to consider is that the recruiter may be looking for someone who has experience leading a large team. So if you are including a number on your resume as a manager and that number is a significant number, maybe you oversee an entire department of maybe like 400 people and you include that on your resume, that in turn lets them know that you are qualified and you have experience leading large teams and that you can do that. And if you're not sure of the exact number, you can guesstimate. Just make sure that the figure that you decide on is not super inflated and that it's almost unbelievable. Try to be humble. And with choosing the number of people that you manage, you can either do the number of people that you manage at the moment. So maybe right now you oversee just 4 employees, or you can do the collective number. So maybe you've been at the company for 6 or 7 years and throughout your tenure, you've managed 100+ people. And something to consider here, kind of like a bonus tip, if by managing your team, you improve team performance or you implemented some sort of a coaching method that better enhanced training or made training more effective, you can include that too. That's a win, that's an accomplishment, that's value. You absolutely want to put that on there. Next on this list is the amount of money that you manage. So if you manage and oversee and allocate a budget, or you're tracking expenses, or you're approving funds, anything to do with money that can be related to a dollar figure or an amount, please include that figure. And this is not just for people who are in the finance industry or in a finance related role. So if you are a manager or a director or a vice president, you're probably managing or overseeing or setting some type of a budget, and it's really important for you to include that, because if you are going for another role that is also going to require you to manage a budget, you really want to show that you have experience doing that on your resume, and it's really helpful to include a dollar figure so that they understand or they have a gist of how much money you are familiar with overseeing or managing. This can be an annual budget or a quarterly budget or a project budget. For added emphasis, if you have a particular win or a really big accomplishment in this area, you absolutely want to include it. So maybe the budget was at $5 million when you came in, but you cut spending by 20%, and now overall spending is lower and it's more cost effective. Or if you better allocated the budget, so now maybe you're spending the same $5 million, but it's on better vendors and the quality is better. Just an extra bonus tip for you. Next on this list is the number of accounts that you manage. Now this goes for my customer service professionals, my account managers, people who work at agencies, business development reps, sales representatives, and sales managers. Don't just put on your resume that you manage accounts. That's so vague and it has little to no additional information in there. Include the number of accounts that you manage. So if you manage 50 accounts monthly or 50 accounts annually, or you're juggling between 2 and 3 high profile profile accounts every single day, you can go ahead and include that. And when I'm talking about accounts, these can be customers, these can be clients, these can be contracts, and they can also include external partners that you've worked with. More bonus tips for this one is if you have brought on or you were a key figure in helping bring on a large, high-profile, 6-figure, 7-figure account, you want to go ahead and mention that. Also, if during your time frame, maybe you were responsible for increasing the number of accounts from 5 to 30, you want to include that. Next on this list is reports, and this can go for any person who produces or generates any type of report. I see this a lot where somebody will put on their resume, generated reports, produced quarterly reports. Okay, but how many? And what were the reports for? It's a difference between saying that you generate or produce reports. It's another thing to say you produce 15 quarterly reports outlining company expenses or something like that. Also, with these reports, try to include or make the correlation to or between why they matter. So you producing these reports does what? If it's outlining the spending, is that to cut spending? Is it to track spending? Is it to see if you are overspending in any type of area? Try to link it to why that report actually matters and what is the outcome or the impact of you creating or producing that report. Something else to include is if you present that report. So are you presenting it to leadership and are you getting feedback? Are you presenting your findings and also making suggestions? Are you a part of coming up with any sort of plan for whatever the report needs? Maybe something needs to be decreased or increased or something needs to be improved. Then lastly, talk about the systems that you work in or that you use to generate these reports. Is it Excel? Is it Salesforce? Is it something else? Again, just an extra tidbit. And last on this list is projects. And this one is not just limited to project managers. If in any capacity in your role you are working with any type of project, that could include a rollout, an implementation, a turnaround, or some sort of an organizational shift, and you're helping create new plans and roll them out and introduce them, or the overhaul of something, that counts as a project. And if you have worked on a number of projects such as that, you want to include the number of them overall. But if you are a project manager, you can include the number of projects that you have managed, oversaw, or saw through completion. Something to consider would be to include the number of projects that you have worked on overall, so throughout your entire tenure, or the number of projects that you work on a daily basis or monthly basis. Be sure to include the nature of the project. So give an overview of what the overall purpose of the project was, and if you can, include the outcome of the project. Lastly, you can talk about your particular or your specific role in the project. So did you manage the budget? Did you make sure that the project was completed with 100% accuracy on time and there were no delays or anything like that? Or if you were in charge of purchasing supplies, purchasing materials, coming up with a strategy, coming up with a plan. So try to include your role and your purpose in the project and what you brought to the table. Now that you have plenty ideas of the type of numbers that you should include in your resume, please do not let me catch you out here in these streets with no numbers on your resume. If you need more ideas that I did not cover in this video, feel free to go ahead and drop a comment down below. I'd be happy to provide additional context and answer any questions that you may have if I did not hit them in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you learned something or you enjoyed watching the video in general, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. If you need assistance with your resume and maybe trying to figure out what numbers to include, what information to include is not your strength, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is www.thompsonresumes.com. My email address is hello@thompsonresumes.com. You can also connect with me on social media. My Instagram handle is @_Mika Thompson. My LinkedIn profile name is Tamika Thompson. And you can also subscribe to my email list. The link is in the description box down below. If you are watching this video and you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can join my growing YouTube community. And you can also stay in tune with helpful content such as this, which can help you create your resume, create a job search strategy, and level up in your career. I will see you guys next time with another helpful video. Bye!